So today we are so excited to show off the new look of the platform. First, we're going to go through that. And the next thing that we're going to go through will be the new AI feature. So what we did with the new platform, when you log in previously, this is kind of what you are used to seeing, right? It's kind of got this gray feature, and we have that green popping out in the different corners of the web page. But you'll notice that brand new button in the top right hand corner that says we have a new look and we are allowing you to try it now. So we're going to allow you to toggle this on and off for the rest of the year until we go ahead and make it over to the new version indefinitely. But I really like that we are kind of getting our toes wet here slowly with what the new PreciseFP will look like. So everything that you're used to finding will still be in the same locations, right? You don't need to go to a whole new place to find your engagements. That is not the case at all. Instead, when you click Try Now, it's just going to be a refresh of the page. So you'll notice it is clean and modern. There's more breathing room in between some of those numbers and the text. There is refreshed icons and colors have changed as well. More contrast, larger fonts. So definitely start here, toggle that on, and start working in the new UI. Now that we talked about that new UI, the next thing I want to talk about is AI. So do not confuse it with the UI. They are two completely different things. But the new AI feature is something I am so excited about. I think you'll just hit the ground running, adding value to your firm. And if we go over to the templates, let's just say we go over to My Templates. If you click on that plus sign in the top right-hand corner, you'll notice this icon now throughout the platform. It is like sparkles and it is like magic. This is going to be the generate using AI feature. So today I am going to cover all of the AI features that are in place as the system exists today, but definitely be nimble with us in this process of AI because you might wake up and there are a whole new set of AI features. I know that happened to myself personally in preparation for today's webinar. I knew that there's a certain existing list of capabilities, and our amazing development team came out with a bunch more. So I would definitely keep your eye out and just remain nimble. If you go to precisefp.com, on the bottom footer, you'll notice this bar. It says, get the latest updates from PreciseFP. Go ahead and put your email address in there if you are not currently receiving communications, because as we progress on this new AI feature, we're going to try to email out and communicate any of those changes through the enhancements email. So if you're registered, great. If you want to get somebody else onto those enhancement emails that is in your office, put their email address there and we'll make sure that they're going to get those emails as well. All right. So how I want to go through today's AI feature will be presenting two different ways to use it. I'll start with the first way, which is going to be the most suggested way, because if we start with a template that already exists in the form library and we start enhancing that using AI, that is going to be the best practice. Okay, because those templates that are in your form library are already mapped to the data set. So if you go in and grab a template, and I'll show you what I mean here. If you go to templates on the left and click on the tab here that says form library, I'll choose more so that way all of them are shown here. But this is going to give you a list of about 60 of the templates that already exist in your system. And like I said, as a best practice, let's start with one of these and start to optimize it using AI. And that way, all of the data will be already connected to the data set. So if you go in here, there's some that are product-based, service-based, like estate planning, college planning. There are a lot in here that are optimized to different integrations. So you just want to start off with something here. I'll go ahead and choose on that wealth box template as my example. I'll install this template, and what this will do is it'll take it from the form library and put it into my templates. So now it's ready for me to go ahead and customize. Now, if I go ahead and choose customize here, I can go ahead and see what this template looks like right off the bat coming from the form library. And this is where you want to start thinking in your head, start crossing things out and saying, I want this rewritten, because we're going to be able to do that now with AI. And I just wanted to point out that I also have a tab open here of ChatGPT. I'm going to be showing how to use existing AI that we probably use every day, like ChatGPT, in order to help us with PreciseFP's AI feature. So let's go back here into PreciseFP. And let's just start with this welcome page. This is a great welcome page to start off, but what we're really finding as the key differentiator competition-wise in the industry is personalization. So with AI in the picture now, there's really no reason to just send a fact finder like this that is so plain to your clients, because you can customize it very easily, very quickly using the features now. So let's say we click on this box here for this welcome message, and we find that excellent little icon there representing the sparkles or the magic, and we choose update with AI. Now, this is where I personally, as I've been playing with the system, I've been jumping into ChatGPT, helping or asking ChatGPT to help me create some of these prompts. And the work that's been coming out has been pretty impressive. So let me show you exactly what I mean. Let's say I have a prospect that I'm looking to work with. His name is Bob. And let's just say that Bob, I don't really know much about him yet because we're in the beginning stages, but I want to start getting that information from him that he will give me. I know that Bob is a lawyer. I know that Bob is a veteran, and I know that he likes to volunteer in his free time and serves in the Phoenix community. So let's just say those are some of the things that I know about Bob. I can go over to ChatGPT and paste those things in my case, because I have this in a Word document. But you're just going to want to kind of do something like this as well. I'm targeting a lawyer, and I could even put in here, his name is Bob. And I want to adjust the language, tone, and call to action to feel relatable to him being a lawyer. He's a veteran, he volunteers, he's in the Phoenix community. And then you could just be as specific as possible here. I want it to be warm. I know everyone's been using AI in their day-to-day lately, so just kind of guiding it on how you want it to look and feel. Do you want simple language? Do you want advanced language? Do you want big words, small words, whatever you want? I find that it's helpful to put it in here into ChatGPT. And you'll notice here within a few seconds, oh, this is drafting the message. So I actually want to add in here that I want to make a prompt instead. We'll do make a prompt, because that's exactly what you're doing here, is almost like prompt farming. So what we're going to do is put in what I would want the prompt to say, or knowing ChatGPT, I'm using ChatGPT to help me with that prompt. So now I'm going to go back to PreciseFP, paste in that prompt that ChatGPT helped me create using those personal details, and definitely go in your CRM and just pull some of these things out. I mentioned that I don't know Bob that well right now, but I can go ahead and customize this even further using the details in my CRM, right? My CRM is going to house things like their favorite restaurant, their alma mater, their hobbies, their interests. So try to pull things from there into the generate AI feature, and it'll customize it and personalize it even further. Now, this is where you want to definitely play around with the system, because it looks like ChatGPT did think that my um, name was Bob as well. So you would just want to kind of play around here and make sure that it is updated to reflect that. Or no big deal, I can just go ahead and delete those parts. That's going to be your job moving forward, is probably just making sure that you give everything a once over to make sure that it's correct and it's client ready, right? I didn't go in and type these, 13 sentences, but I am going to go in there and start to adjust things, delete things that didn't come out correctly, or maybe just add my own secret sauce. Something that we just released yesterday, which is really exciting, is the ability to add macros in. So if we click on this area, you'll notice that we have macros that you can use, and these are great to customize the message even further. So you can tell the generate AI feature to include these macros at the end of the message, right? You can say something like, I want at the end a contact us, and I think I have that somewhere here. But you can say, I want a contact us that is going to include X, Y, and Z. So that way they can reach out to the office for any additional questions. So I do have something like that created here. I will go ahead and add that in to show you what I mean. If I go back to the box and I click on that icon again, I'm going to put in here to include macros for my company name, email address, phone number, and website so clients can easily contact us. So just in working with the system, like I said, be nimble here. You're going to find little things that you want to add and improve your prompts. But you'll notice here, it just added that beautiful message at the end, allowing Bob to see that if he needs to contact us, here is our email address, here's our phone number, and even here is our website. So you'll notice I did not do much to go ahead and get this personalized and customized. The Generate AI feature did it all for me. But like I said, you might want to just go in and mess with the spacing, or add your secret sauce, or delete some things that you don't like, and make it perfect and ready to go. So that's what I did, is I used a template that is already in the form library. I used the wealth box template, and I went in and I customized this for Bob. Now I would go ahead and start to rename things. So you'll notice the title of this by default is just household structure. But I would suggest that from now on, you start customizing these messages or these titles, so that way you can see this one is specifically for Bob. You don't want your team going in and sending this to Sally, because you personalize this to our lawyer, Bob, who is a veteran, and all of the details are going to account for that. So I would say, as a best practice, is to customize each one and start to rename each one, and then even delete it. As soon as you send this to Bob, what it's going to do is it'll create a separate copy of it and send it off to Bob. So if I delete this template, it's going to have no significance or no effect at all to the original template or to the template that's out in the world right now to Bob. So Bob can still fill out all of the information on this fact finder while I delete this template, and it'll still be live and in action and have no effect from each other. So probably a best practice there is to customize each one, rename each one, and then even just delete it once you're done. And just as a best practice, go ahead and go in and make sure that everything is the way you want it. Just to show off the AI feature a little bit more, I'm going to get really fancy. I have a prompt that I worked with ChatGPT about for suitability questions. And I'm going to show you how I can quickly add a page using the AI feature to add a lot of those suitability questions. So things like how many investment years experience do you have? What is your tax rate? What are your liquidity needs? I worked with ChatGPT on the side to come up with suitability questions like that. And you might even pull them specifically from your broker dealer. But I'm going to show how I want to add a new page with those questions, and it'll do it very quickly here. So instead of clicking new page, typing in, I want an assets, liabilities, and suitability page, and then going in and creating all of the boxes manually, I am going to, again, click on the wonderful sparkle icon that says generate using AI. And like I said, on the side, I already work with ChatGPT to come up with a prompt like this, but I'm saying, I want a drop down of tax rate. I want net worth to be in there as a dollar sign. I want expenses. I want to know their investment experience, things like that. And what I really love is if you'll notice here, I'm also asking it to put help text. So maybe I know my clients and I know they're not going to really understand what I say when I ask for their liquidity needs. So I might ask the software to go ahead and create a nice little help in parentheses defining what exactly I mean. So that way, when it creates the new page, it's going to include that in there. So also as a best practice, what I would start doing is open up a Word document and start saving some of these prompts. You might find that, you worked with the prompt for and you went ahead and tweaked it here and there and it's just perfect and you want to use it in future projects. Take that prompt, paste it into a Word document, save it, and use it again in the future. So you can always, copy pages into new engagements, but I think that it's great to start collecting all of these prompts that you like as well. All right, so by the time I finish talking there, you'll notice that that new page has been created. So if I scroll down here, like I said, this is going to be your job kind of moving forward, is not going in and building this and clicking on that plus sign, double clicking in there and choosing to add a text field, typing in the text, hitting save, and, adding the next box. Instead, you're going to be building the prompt and then putting in the AI feature, and then it's going to build it for you. So you'll notice here, everything is just like I asked it. It is defining some of the things that might be confusing to my clients. It is creating drop downs where I asked it to. And in this case, it actually made all of them required fields. So this is where you'd want to be strategic as well. Do you want all of these fields to be required? Do you only want some of them to be required? Make sure you're including that information into the prompt and we'll make sure, or the AI feature will go ahead and build that out accordingly. So I don't know about you, but my jaw was dropped when I was playing around with this and saw all of this get done within a few seconds. I am so incredibly impressed. If you agree, type a yes into the chat. Just I know that, the wheels start turning about the possibilities of what we can do from here. But I think it's so great to go ahead and use ChatGPT in conjunction with our AI feature and then just really see how incredible it is. You use PreciseFP because it's, an integration and data hub and powerhouse. So you can still experience all of that power, but now with just more customization, more personalization, more of those warm and fuzzies, and that you could give those clients that feeling that they're your one and only client. And I didn't show it yet. I'll get to it, but you can even add your brand colors into that prompt so that way it looks like it's coming from your email or your phone, and your clients can see that right away.
Hey, Nora, we've got some questions come in, so I wanted to see if we could maybe pause a minute and try to address some of them from Courtney and from Justin. So the first question that Courtney had is what you're creating, does that sync with, in this case, Wealthbox is a CRM? Does it put it in the information where the client fills it in?
Yes, so that's why I always suggest as a best practice to start with that wealth box template, because that wealth box template already maps to the data set, and the data set is what will export to your integrations. So with Wealthbox, there are a number of fields that will share over bilaterally to Wealthbox and back from Wealthbox. So yes, it will definitely go into Wealthbox and either create a record for someone who's brand new, or it will update a record if they already exist in Wealthbox.
Got you. So Courtney also had another question. She such a fan of what you just showed. If you were been able to share that prompt in the chat so that she can take that for as an example. So that's a request. Justin has a question on if updating the page with the AI prompt, or is it just a new page?
You can update a page. Yeah, what I just demonstrated was a brand new page. But definitely, let's say we go back to the household members page that already exists, and we want to add to this children's area. Maybe we want to ask if any kids are attending college. You can click into here and click on that sparkle icon again, put in a prompt, and it'll create that for you.
Awesome. All right, well, that's all the questions we have now. I'll be back later when they submit some more.
Awesome. Thank you. And I'm so glad that you like my prompt, Courtney. I will definitely get that pasted in. I also want to mention that we have a download that's available of kind of best practices when you're prompt building. So I will paste that into the chat as well, because you can go to this web page, and toward the middle of the page will be a button that says download our starter guide. So we put together this starter guide, kind of just showing, you might be using a prompt, writing a prompt this way, but if you write it this way, it might be a little bit better. So definitely check that out, as well as I will put that suitability one in there as well. All right. So I just want to point out as well, you'll notice that those kind of pop-ups came up saying that the page was generated successfully, and it gives me the option to turn it back and undo if I don't like it. So definitely get in the habit of playing around with it, adding in a prompt, seeing if you like it, and undoing it if you need to. You'll also notice that undo button has been added here in the top right hand corner, and it's marked as history. If you click on history, you're going to be able to roll this back. So maybe I don't want that assets page added anymore. I can roll that back. If I don't want it customized to Bob anymore, I can roll that back. So you do have the option to not have to manually go in and delete things that you don't like. Instead, you could just use that history button and it'll go ahead and turn back time on your behalf. All right. So the next thing that I'll talk about as an option, just to kind of get the ball rolling here, is going to be creating a new template from scratch using AI. So if I click on that plus sign and I choose generate using AI, you'll notice this is a brand new pop-up here that you have never seen before. So what this will do is it'll allow you to create a template from scratch. So the previous way that I showed you was to pull a template that already exists. I used the Wealth Box one, and I showed you how to customize that Wealth Box one a little bit further to personalize that engagement. This version that I'm showing you is creating a brand new engagement from scratch. All right. I would not do this as a best practice. I would always suggest to start with a template that already exists. So that way everything is already mapped to the data set and you could just customize things from there. But this is a great option for things like surveys. I know I worked with an office that does a women's business event every year, and she wanted a PreciseFP survey to complement that session. So what she could essentially do is just put in those details. You know, I run an annual women's business event in Phoenix, Arizona. There are these amount of women that are in these type of roles. I talk about X, Y, and Z, create a survey that is going to ask them about their experience. How were the beverages? Was the food cold? You know, whatever you want, you could put that here into the prompt and it'll go ahead and formulate that survey for you. But I'm just going to stick with the same Bob example in this example. So what I'm asking ChatGPT here is, can you write a PreciseFP prompt? And you don't have to exactly say that, but it's just what happened off on the side when I was working earlier. But same thing. I'm saying he's a veteran, he's a lawyer, he volunteers. I want it to be these fields that ask about his business. I want it to talk this way. I want to thank him this way. And you'll notice I even put in brand colors in there as well. I'm using ASU's brand colors because I'm a Sun Devil, but you probably have a document that houses all of your brand information. That's going to probably be your hex codes, your fonts that you use. All of those things, you can start to create that into a prompt, save it into that Word document, and now it'll go ahead and be there in the future for you to use. So you'll notice I have a great prompt here that has been created. I can go ahead and copy this and put it into that generate AI feature. I will go ahead and just use the one that I have saved already in my Word document just to kind of show you how I am doing that is I have a Word document and I am adding things to there all the time with prompts. So just the idea is just to be very clean and organized in there. But you'll notice it has my brand colors in this prompt. It has those macros that I want to use. It's asking about different areas of his focus. So you have options here. You know, you can use what, ChatGPT creates in the moment, or you can use your Word document and pull prompts from there. All right, so I'll go ahead and create the template here, and this will take a moment or two to go ahead and create it. But I do want to point out that we do have a help article called macros on our help desk. In case you're hearing that word macros a lot right now, and you're like, what is a macro? What's she talking about? Macros are going to be little codes like this that will pull in different information into your form. So these are the ones that come as a default. I'm really using the company name, email, and phone number right now. but you have a lot of different options as well. And we also have a help article here talking about the AI template creator. This is going to kind of visually demonstrate with screenshots and descriptions of exactly all of the stuff I'm talking about right now. So definitely revert to this page or refer to this page for additional questions when you're in the moment. Let me go ahead and show you what I have here. So using all of those details that I put into the prompt, including the brand colors, you'll notice that the maroon is there, the gold is there that I put into the prompt. I have those macros inserted that is letting this person know to contact us directly for any additional questions. And you'll notice it's even boxed out all nicely and a bullet list, which really adds a nice visual. I would take this a step further and, like I said, add in your headshot, add in your logo, add in your team picture, just to take it a step further. But you'll notice here now it created those questions from the prompt, and it's asking, what is your legal focus? And even if you had this conversation with Bob before, check this off on his behalf before you send it over to him. So that way he's not like, man, I just told them I do estate planning. Why are they asking this question again? Either you can take out that question altogether because you already know it, or you can check off estate planning on his behalf and it'll go ahead and have that checked off when he receives it. I wanted it to include information about his community involvement, so you'll notice that is there as well. I did not manually create any of this. I did not go in and create these boxes and add in the text that I wanted each box to say. I just made it in my prompt and it went ahead and created it in the form. And we could take a look at that thank you page. You'll notice the thank you page is very well done as well. It has our brand colors. It's going to have our headshot included here as well. So really your job is to just go in, give it a once over, make sure that it's perfect and ready to go. Maybe do an operations test before you send it to someone in the office as an example so that they could give their feedback on it and make sure all of the capitalization and punctuation is done well. But this is the second way that you can use the Generate AI feature is to create a brand new template from scratch. And you have the other option, which is to use a template that already exists and then just enhance it, which is my suggestion to do as a best practice starting off. But like I said, this is great for information that you don't need mapped to the data set. Maybe you don't need a survey mapped into the data set. It would be a great way to create that server. So definitely use, ChatGPT in conjunction with RAI to build some prompts that'll work well. Definitely get a running document of some of the things that you like your brand colors or specific messaging that you want to be included. And then just let us know what you think. We're so excited to hear from you on how you like the new feature, how you're using it, how you would like it to continue to enhance in the future. And definitely make sure that your name, your email address, or your team's email address is on the enhancements email list. That is going to be in the footer of PreciseFP.com. Put your email address in so we could continue to share any of those enhancements as they come out. And we'll hopefully be doing more of these sessions as well to continue to talk about best practices.